thought I'd gotten Cogshall killed, and more from Godfrey's cadre of soldiers. I knew Godfrey's men would jump me as soon as they could. I needed to get out of Osterstadt, fast. The Legion had Nikolai, and were frog-marching him into the city. I knelt next to cleave Cogshall's body, and did the only thing I could think. I hoisted him into my arms. The Legion lieutenant, Darby, stepped in my path. "Begging your pardon," he said, "but Captain Cogshall deserves a Legion burial." "Is there where does he go from here?" I asked. "We will take him to the Legion house. We prepare the body for burial. On tomorrow's sunrise, we bury him in the Legion cemetery. At no point will his body be without Legionnaires, for we leave none behind." I thought about making a point of Cogshall being my father, about wanting to bury him on our family grounds, but that was all recent stuff. The Legion had been his family for Cogshall's entire life, and though I felt a strong pull to take him with me, I had to imagine he'd rather go with them. Nodding, I held out Cogshall's body. Darby bowed his head to me. "Thank you." Legion soldiers had a shield flat and laid Cogshall out on it. They hoisted him up. Darby took a moment standing over Cogshall and going over the body. He turned back to me, his arms full of Cogshall's personal effects. Not many, just 2 heavy pouches, his sword and his dagger. "When he is laid to rest," Darby said, "I will get in contact with you so you may pay your respects." "Thank you," I said. All alone now, I watched the body of my adopted father disappear into the city. "What do we do now?" Ragnar asked. Poignant moment ruined, I looked down to see that I was, in fact, flanked by my hearth. "According to Nikolai," I said, "we go build a city. And that means we go get Lee." Chapter 2. Townsfolk were still heading towards the bulwark. Apparently there was plenty of cleanup left to do from the dead monsters who'd come out of the Emerald Sea. Beasts to butcher and meat to gather. The sun was close to setting, and a brisk wind blew off the trees that made up the sea. A million smells swirled around me, but pine won out over all of them. It was a blissful but terrible moment. I felt a sadness I wasn't prepared for, and despite Ragnar and Skeld walking on either side of me, I felt lost and alone. I followed my herdsmen, trusting them to get me where I needed to go. For the moment, I was too deep in my head. There were so many thoughts bouncing in and out, and I was having trouble processing. Well, more like I didn't want to accept what had happened. How quickly everything went tits up. I couldn't stop replaying everything, wondering if I'd taken the best possible path. Had my choices led to Cleve's death? Was it my fault? Again? It felt like those I cared about were destined to die around me while I continued to flounder and fail upward. I passed a stall selling fried dough, which triggered a memory of the good times I'd had with the girl, which made me think of what had happened to her. My time with Cleve had put her in my past in a good way, and yet now I had to deal with everything on my own. No Cleve, no Nikolai. As soon as the girl started popping up in my thoughts, I knew darkness was coming, and I had to make the choice. Succumb to depression and dwell in darkness, or fight through via any means necessary. Depression had not worked well for me in the past, so I had to push all those bad thoughts out. I had to squash them all down deep inside and focus on victory for the present moment. Plenty of time to mourn and